Lone loss in the career of Josue Vargas was a very odd disqualification. Happened against Samuel Santana back in October 2016. He spun him around and then floored him with a punch. It was ruled an intentional foul, so that's the blemish to make him 18-1.
I like everything about the young Vargas. I like the fact that he's very confident. Speaking with him in the fighter meeting, he told us that he's been in the ring with some of the great champions today, and that he feels that he's at that level. As far as his boxing style goes, Tess, I like the fact that even though he's not a biggest puncher, he's found learned ways to be able to get his offense off and still be aggressive at the same time.
Shaw's 28 years old. He's overcome a lot of adversity in his life. Lost his mother when he was a baby, and he sends back Vargas on that exchange. And now he's on the attack, pressing the action for a moment here in the opening minute of round number 1, and he's able to land a left hand and a straight right that splits the guard, and he's got the heavily favored Vargas in trouble here in round 1. Vargas needs to settle down a bit.
Keep him up. Vargas needs to learn how to tie up. That's what he needs to learn how to do.
And another straight right hand sends back Vargas. Dre, I was just about to say, young man's overcome a lot of adversity. He's from the Bay Area, so I will turn to you.
Yeah, he's from Oakland, California, to be exact, and very awkward fighter, but he's tough. He's overcome a lot. That translates for him in the ring, and right now he's winning this first round. He just got caught with a big shot right there, but that's what Shaw needs to do. Make it awkward, make it ugly, and his advantage is having sneak attacks, hitting Vargas when he doesn't think he can be hit.
Well, that's what Willie Shaw did about a minute ago. The sneak attack that scored with the right hand, had a follow-up right hand, and now Vargas with his feet underneath him.
Oh, Vargas right now is really showing he's a real professional. Even though he was buzzed, he's still, keeping his feet underneath him and still trying to win this round.
And talking to Vargas in the fighter meeting yesterday, it didn't seem like he had a lot of respect for Willie Shaw. And that's going to take some time for Vargas to get used to.
Well, right now, Vargas is at the wrong range. He's getting hit with shots on the way in.
Flush shots.
What he needs to do is he needs to take his time. I think the fans in here probably got him riled up. He's coming out trying to put on a show instead of just being smart in boxing.
10 seconds.
And a show it has been. Entertaining first round. That Willie Shaw got the best.
It's just beautiful shots right here by Shaw. Shaw knew that he hurt him, just trying to finish him off. That's all he was trying to do. Ooh.
17 power punches landed in that first round. Dre, what did you make of the exchange that the father trainer of Josue Vargas had with him after that first round? Calm down, calm down. There's a lot of frantic energy there.
Yeah, I think Pops may need to calm down a little bit too, because Vargas is going to feed off of his energy. So I think both fighter and son are a little bit shocked that happened, because like I said, we normally see his father in the fighter meetings. I asked Vargas where he was. He said he's by the pool. And Vargas seemed like he had not a care in the world, but you have a fighter in Willie Shaw who comes in here in tip-top shape, and he's trying to win.
Shaw threw 55 power punches in that opening round. Better work from the southpaw Vargas behind the jab.
Yeah, that's exactly what he needs to do. Vargas needs to step in the inside, go to work on that body on the tall, longer frame.
Pick up the left hand and try to blind Josue Vargas so you can land that right hand, because the right hand of Shaw, it comes off like a rocket.
And unexpectedly, Dre, he'll be in a position that he just, like you said, sneak attack. He'll just throw the right hand.
Just like that body shot right there.
Now you see Vargas getting in his rhythm now. He's starting to touch him more and more. Up and downstairs, confusing Shaw.
And on the inside, he turns over that right hook to the body, comes back with the uppercut, and willing to exchange. Left hand came in, goes with a left hand to the body, and then a right hook upstairs.
Your opponent has more experience, he's more polished, so you got to weather those storms, cover up, try to stay safe, and then get your shots off, either in between Vargas' shots or right after he's done. And if you're Vargas, keep doing what you're doing.
Ten seconds, Jimmy, 10 seconds.
Great instructions by his father. That's what he needs to do. Don't come in the same way every single time. Fake, come in from the side.
In that second round, Vargas outlanded Shaw 19-7. Power punch edge was 14-7. Straight left hand behind the jab.
Get off his head, get off his head, get off his head.
See, Vargas is staying at that range where he can be hit with the right hand. You got the longer, linkier frame than Shaw. He's just going to extend with that right hand, just as he's doing there. Vargas needs to close that distance a little bit sooner or get himself all the way out.
In and out that time, two-punch combination. Shaw has the height advantage, has the reach advantage. Vargas, the more accomplished, more skilled fighter, was a top amateur. You heard all his accolades in the introductions as a national champ. Decided to turn pro at only 17 years old. Here he is at 22, 18-1 mark.
No. There we go.
You know, for a fighter, every fight is different. And Vargas doesn't feel like Shaw should be in there with him. That's why he's trying to press the issue right now, but he's got to be patient.
Boy, Timmy, I really like. Go ahead, Dre.
Yeah, Shaw's dangerous, and Vargas has to be patient. Take his shots like he's taking them now, but don't do too much too early.
That's where, to me, that's where Vargas needs to be. Right in the inside. Keep punishing this young man.
And that is exactly what he's doing. I was just about to say, I love the work he's doing with the right hook on the inside, both to the body and upstairs. And a moment ago, it set up a right hand to come right down the alley, Timmy.
He better be careful with throwing those uppercuts from a little bit too far away.
You're really Shaw, you got to weather that storm. He's hitting you. You might as well let your hands go and try to hit him as well. You know you can hurt him, so try to line another shot up.
Straight left to the body. Vargas has landed 16 body connects to this point.
This is where experience comes in. If you're a fighter, you know that Vargas wants a breather right now. And if you're Shaw, you want to recognize that and step on the gas.
There's that range and reach of Shaw.
Jimmy, 10 seconds.
Threw 75 punches in that third round at Josue Vargas. 54 of them were power punches. He landed 27 of 54 power punches. Overall, through 3 rounds, according to CompuBox, he has landed 46% of his overall power punches.
Even though Shaw is a tall, lanky fighter, he doesn't fight tall all the time. He looks for the fight. As you can see him coming forward and trying to get close to Vargas.
Bernardo, what are they saying in the corner of Willie Shaw?
Eugene Riza said, look, we got to stay on top of the punch count. He's not working right now. We've got to be first, but he likes the counter punch, so he's going against his nature, but he's got to get his hands going.
His hands were going in that first round when he found success. That encouraged him to keep throwing through 79 punches in that first round. Then it dropped down to 57. In the last round, he threw 46. He's looking to time that right hand.
See, but that was great transition defense right there from Vargas.
You will see Shaw switch before you know it and be in a left-handed southpaw stance.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of that in our main event tonight by Navarrete switching both stances.
I think that could be a spectacular back half to that championship fight. You know, it's funny, guys, I turn to you. Obviously, we went a year without fans, and now we're emerging out of the Vegas bubble. This is the second top-ranked show with fans. There's a COVID allowance that puts 3,500 in here. It is a heavily biased Puerto Rican fan base as well, and it is a tiny ring that since the time we came on the air has produced fireworks. Whether it's sensational knockouts or back and forth drama like we just saw in the last fight.
And then you have this tiny ring, and what I said in the beginning is that if you have a small ring, you're going to have either wars or knockouts. And tonight, we've gotten a lot of wars and a few knockouts.
That's all we've had. That Ortiz-Adorno majority draw was a great watch, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
As Navarrete coming up in the world title main event. That will be over on ESPN. Coverage begins at 10 o'clock with Edgar Berlanga going for his 17th straight first-round knockout. He's in against Devon Nicholson, who is in that fight to give him rounds, to give him a test.
If you're in the corner of Willie Shaw, because he doesn't have the experience as Vargas and he doesn't have the big name, you got to coach him through. He's in great shape, and you got to let him know you belong here. You're good enough. Keep putting your shots through. We hurt him early. You can hurt him again. You got to keep convincing him that he belongs in this fight.
Again, Vargas is at the wrong range. He needs to be all the way out or all the way inside, and when he stands at mid-range, all Shaw's going to do is extend with those hands, and he's going to time him on the way in.
Because all you need, he's hurt. Sneaky left hand from Willie Shaw.
Timed him on the way in, Dre.
Same descriptive you used in round number one.
He needs to stay right there. Stay right there. The biggest issue is he does good work and then he steps out. Just as he does there. No, step in and stay in. Push him back. That's how you beat a taller fighter.
There's a wide right hand that actually sent him off balance for a moment. Now Vargas gets back into the pocket, exchanges.
Nice right hand right there from Shaw. Timing Vargas on the way in after a double jab.
Willie Shaw still dangerous in this fight.
He's very dangerous.
Time. I got you. You got 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes. Accidental.
Heard the call of an accidental low blow.
No low blow, okay? Keep punches up, all right? You got 5 minutes. Tell me when you're
It's
ready.
that left hand that went
You ready? All
below
right.
the belt line.
Time in. Bucks. Keep it clean. No retaliation. Mm. 10 seconds, baby.
Trying to time that right hand again. Had success with it earlier in round 5. Did Willie Shaw. Turned him around for a moment. Boy, Shaw is awkward.
Very awkward.
A 3-punch combination from Vargas.
I think the problem with Vargas is he doesn't know who he is right now. He's a great boxer, but somewhere along the line, if he wanted to start walking guys down and creating knockouts, and that's not who he is. His knockouts will come from bewildering, outspeeding, frustrating opponents, and then landing something that they don't see. He's trying to will his way to a knockout, and right now, it's not working.
And then when you have the start that he had tonight, when Vargas had success and buzzed him early in that opening minute, it can take you even further out of your form,
Yes.
right?
And in his mind, he's saying, who is Willie Shaw? That's not supposed to happen.
His pride was hurt, definitely. And you can see the way he's fighting. He's taking more risks than he needs to right now.
Good exchange that Willie Shaw won.
It's good combinations right there from Vargas, but once again, he steps right out and gives distance. He can step around Willie Shaw, go around him after those combinations.
Talked about Shaw weathering those storms, understanding that he's going to get touched, but being willing to touch Vargas back himself. As long as Willie Shaw's still punching, he has a shot to win this fight.
Vargas took an angle moments ago, wrapped around with a right hand to the body, came back with a left to the body there.
And Vargas just has to be content with boxing, using his God-given gifts and letting that be enough. A good round from Josue Vargas.
The heavily favored Vargas in the 5th round, saying don't wait, don't be scared, they ain't going to give it to us, got to go get it. 58-56, Vargas on Dre's card. 1st round, 5th round going to Shaw in obvious fashion with what we saw. But the first half of the exchange is interesting, where he says, are you tired? Are you tired? Yeah. You're going to the 7th round of a fight. I mean, what's the answer's not going to change anything, right?
Well, yeah, you don't ask your fighter, is he tired? You tell him he's not tired.
Correct.
He's a man that however you feel, you got enough to keep going. You don't even want that to enter into a fighter's mind.
That's exactly what I was thinking. What's going to happen with the answer to that question?
I was just focused on the last sentence of that conversation he had. You know, I'm apologize for the verbiage that the trainer used at the end.
Time Willie touches Vargas in the right spot, gets a reaction. That should be encouraging enough to cause Willie Shaw to let his hands go even more.
That's beautiful boxing right there from Vargas, stepping around, making Shaw having to change positions and look for him. That's what he needs to do. Don't stand directly in front of him.
Willie Shaw's been 8 rounds twice, but he's never been past the 8th round
in his career. There's that right hand to the body that you've admired so much, Timmy. Digs with it again and turns it into an uppercut. So good work from Vargas. Shaw tries to meet him on the exchange. That's what Uriza wants to see. Wants to see some aggression. Doesn't want him to wait on Vargas.
Good body shot right there from Shaw. Look for the uppercut, the right uppercut. Be a money punch. Something that Vargas will not see coming.
But yet the betting public, you look at the Vegas prop bets, and the betting public believes that Berlanga keeps the 1st round knockout streak going.
Tess, you want to know what I saw in that sequence right there? In the barrel locker room, I saw the right hand go on first, meaning the kill shot.
Round 8 here. Vargas with a 146-93 connect advantage.
He hurt him with that body shot right there.
And now he hits the accelerator a bit, and he digs in, takes that angle and digs in with the right hand to the body again. That's when he's been at his best. As Vargas looks to finish up strong here against Willie Shaw.
Good sequence from Vargas. Got 2 or 3 shots off and stayed close. So he was not open for the counter. It's when Vargas lands in close and then pulls out mindlessly that Willie Shaw and other fighters in the past have taken advantage of.
The best in the business, yes it does.
Watch your head, watch your head.
And Pop, they have mentioned that arrived in the first round from Shaw, arrived in the fifth round from Shaw. He has landed 27 body connects in the last 2 rounds in 2 minutes.
I'm trying to understand what the ref is waiting on as far as that tape goes. Maybe
Obviously he sees it, right, Timmy?
I would hope.
Must not notice it.
I don't see how you can't notice it with the length of the tape.
Another good round from Josue Vargas.
He's banked the last 3 in that way.
See, I like that work right there. Moving laterally to make Shaw commit with something so he can make him pay, just as he does there.
I think Vargas just has to, good shot from both men. Learn to be comfortable in his own skin, and that's something that he's got to mature to. You know, he's not a home run guy. He's a doubles and sometimes a triples guy, and that's okay. He can hit for average. And be the best boxer he can be. Be as slick and as difficult and problemsome for his opponents as possible. That will sell. He doesn't always have to go in there and try to look for a knockout. Can still work on power.
Stop holding now.
Your gift is speed, ability, quickness, elusiveness. That's your God-given gifts.
Yeah, he's more of, has that accumulative effect. He tries to break guys down and create things off the back foot.
I know knockouts sell, but we can't assume that that's what everybody wants to see. Like, for me, it's exciting to see a master boxer take away another fighter's strength and leave them with nothing and then dominate them. To me, that's more exciting than seeing a guy get knocked out with one shot. So develop that.
Experience gaining performance against a more veteran guy.
Those rounds that you speak of, that's insurance.
Yes.
Berlanga's going to need it up the road.
10th and final round here between Vargas and Shaw. A 183 to 106 connect advantage for Vargas, who has boxed well down the stretch after, as you described, sneaky attacks in the first half of this fight, Dre, from Willie Shaw.
At this point, Willie Shaw needs to go all out and try to pull a rabbit out of the hat. If you're Vargas, keep doing what you're doing. Be alert, be sharp, but try to close the show.
Good work right there. Great combination to the head and body, and nice step around right there from Vargas.
Shaw tried it right there. Just missed an overhand right. Good defense from Vargas.
Looking to coast in for a 10-round decision win here. We saw him do that in October in the bubble in Vegas.
And I know that's playing on the mind of Shaw too. You know, when you haven't crossed a certain threshold in the fight, no matter how hard you train, it's on your mind, like, how am I going to feel when I get there?
You guys remember that moment?
I remember each step, going from 6s to 8s to 10s and then 12s.
But that exact feeling of when you get to 10. Now, listen, both of you, your amateur pedigree was far beyond anything we're seeing in front of us here. But
I was worried about it, Tess. I was so worried about it. When I did my first 8 rounds, I ran 23 miles to know that I was ready physically and mentally for the fight.
why don't you just go 3.2 more and call yourself a marathoner, Timmy?
I'm serious, man. 23
Only get you to
miles
Heartbreak Hill in Boston.
for a 6-rounder. It took me 4 hours.
Come on, man. 23?
23 miles on everything I love.
You think you were ready?
You had
I knew I was ready. I went all out for 8 rounds. All out. Willie Shaw trying to take advantage of every opportunity right there.
Why not? See if you can hit the jackpot. Was able to connect in the first round. That got everybody's attention. was able to connect in the 5th round.
For your winner by unanimous decision, Josue the